Let's go over this later. Where are you? Later. Here we go. All right. Oops. Almost hit stop video. Okay. Artist Susan, morning. Love seeing your name. So wish you could see your faces. Okay, here we go. So waiver time. I give consent to engage in this workshop. I understand that I'm not obligated to participate, but that would be weird. This does not in any way impact eligibility for health insurance. I can cease participation at any time. This workshop will use the musculoskeletal system. I understand that I won't be observed. I'm responsible for monitoring my own condition. Should anything unusual occur, I will cease participation. I assume all risks of the workshop. I understand that although this is being performed at an event by Harvard Pilgrim and its affiliates, they should not be liable, responsible, or accountable for any loss, injury, damage suffered. I myself, my heirs, executors, and assigns hereby release Harvard Pilgrim, its affiliates, and everyone associated with them for any connection related to this workshop. All right, let's get going. 7:30 on the dot. Morning. Hey, Rich. Okay, so my name is Katie. I always forget that part because this is on YouTube. So that you can access them later. I did put the workout in there. I also put my contact information if you have thoughts, suggestions, whatever. You can always feel free to reach out. Okay. So we have our main sort of set today. It's called Goddess Makers. It's basically based off a man maker, and we'll go over them. So don't worry if you're like, I have no idea what a man maker or goddess maker is. That's okay. We're gonna go over it. But before we get there, right, we are gonna do some similar movements. And before that even happens, we're gonna warm up. So what I'd like you to do is just start to move. Walk around, shake those arms out, make some arm circles. So our final round is a AMRAP, right? 5 minutes. So basically we'll go through, you can stay at my pace, you can go at your own pace, you might be a little faster, you might be a little bit slower, but we can go over it again once we get there. All right. What I want you to do is take your feet out a little wider, toes out, heels in. Go ahead, reach down for the inside where the thigh meets the knee. We're just going to drop one shoulder and then the other shoulder. We have some bent over rows today, so it's not always the easiest position to hold, but we're only there 30 seconds. So our first part of this workout is going to be 30 seconds, similar movements to what we have in that Goddess Maker. We have 5 seconds in between, just to transition, and then 1 minute between rounds. Okay, so if you decide you need your weights, water, whatever, we'll do that then. Okay, let's come on down. Let's do some scap push-ups because we do have push-ups in the workout. So scapulas, as you push up, right, they are pushing away from each other. All we're going to do is draw the scapula together. So nothing else is really moving, just your shoulder blades. No breathing. We're going to come on up. We're going to warm up the glutes a little bit. Hands behind the head for some good mornings. Coming about halfway down, we're going to add a little bit of a twist here, right, left, and then back up. Dig through those heels, feel the glutes, which is your arse, your butt. A little rotation, and back up. Hope everyone is doing well. Have a nice weekend. I am in dentist hell. Oh man. Dentist is rough, right? It's nothing really you can do about it. It is what it is. My father has very soft teeth, small mouth. They ended up look the same. So no matter what I do, my fillings will go a little, which have now turned into crowns. So fun. Okay. All right. What else? Oh, a little side to side. Let's get a little side to side. Maybe a little reach with the arms. Breathing. Honestly, yesterday I was sitting in that dentist chair just thinking, like, is there a way they could just put me to sleep? Just like take all my teeth out and replace them or something? I don't know. I don't know. All right, shake it out. Okay. So what we have coming up, tricep push-ups. So your elbows are going to be in, right? I would recommend starting on the knees. We have 3 rounds. You can always go up level from there. Then we have bent over rows. So we're in this position, right? If it's too much, come up a little bit, totally fine. I forgot we need a heavy weight. I have 10s here, but I would recommend heavier than that for swings. All right, so we have some swings up to shoulder height. Then we have goblet squat with the weight around the world shoulders. Take the weights, and then we go around the world or around your face. And then lastly, we have a forward lunge with a twist. So if the forward lunge is too much, you can always take a reverse lunge or a static lunge, right? Which is a split squat when we get there. Okay, let's do it. Tricep push-ups. We're gonna get started right now. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. So elbows are in, chest is lifted nice and broad, right? We're not kind of caving in at all here. We're also not in this upward dog position with the hips lowering. We'll have 5 seconds to come up. Grab your weights for bent over rows. So the rows, right? Something, here we go, come on up. Maybe a little lighter. Your lower body exercises, maybe something a little heavier, but again, we have that 1 minute in between. So if you'd like to switch out your weights, you are welcome to do so. Swings on deck. Grab that 1 heavier weight, or if you have a kettlebell, it's a great opportunity to get that bad boy out. I'm always scouring Marketplace for weights here in Florida. So we have a few. Pop those hips. Pop. We have some cleans. That's why we're doing swings today, just to get the feel of the pop, right? Even though clean comes up your body. Again, we'll go over it when we get there, but I want you to get that sort of hip movement, right? Because that involves the hips too. All right, around the world. Pinkies in, thumbs in. Ooh, baby. Gonna have to switch to those 5s. Nice deep breaths. So what is a man maker? Let's talk about that for a second, then we'll go over the goddess maker. Man maker is a push-up, a row on each side. Here we go, forward lunge with a twist. Maybe grab that heavier weight. You step or hop up to the front of your mat. Squat to a press. Okay, well, somewhere in there, you clean those weights up. The goddess maker, it's the same thing, only we're adding a lunge, rest, an overhead lunge. Okay, rest 1 minute. Oh. I got something. Oh, goblet squat. Oh my goodness. So sorry. Here we go. That's okay. We got it. So it's an overhead lunge, which I don't think we've done at all here in our 6+ months together so far. So it's optional. I'll show you what it looks like. You can go light, or you can just do the reverse lunge. All right, now we got our minute. Here we go. Okay. I've made sure we have time to go over that whole sequence without weights before we jump into the AMRAP, okay? And then you can kind of see and you can decide, okay, well, this is what I need for weights. Maybe you don't want weights at all. Totally fine too. All right. We're going to start with those tricep push-ups. We're going in 15 seconds. Ready, position. Ready on the ground. Tennis control says, come on. I'm like staring into outer space. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I picked up tennis again. I bought a place down here in Florida. Mostly because my life revolves around fitness. I don't really need another sport. And then at the time I was still playing women's soccer. But husband is not very much into fitness. There we go, transition, then over rows, but loves tennis. So you know what I had to do. And support him. That's what he wants to do. The same in summer in New Hampshire. He likes to hike. Hiking is not my favorite. But we will do it. I do actually like it. I do. I think as a runner, it's hard. Just want to get there. All right, swings. Grab that heavier weight. There we go. Now the thing with swings is it's actually seems counterintuitive, but it's actually harder if your weight is lighter. Because you can kind of muscle it with the arms, right? We really want that pop. Even slow it down, pop. All right, now we get that goblet squat. Almost forgot first round. I think for the timer, give me a check here. All right, chest is lifted, weights in the heels. Shoulders down your back. Two more in this round. Rest. Not really a rest around the world's shoulders. That's why we have that 1 minute rest, okay? Because we're basically working here for 3 minutes, which is a long time. We have those different muscles, different exercises, helps break it up a little bit. Forward lunge with a twist. We're going to grab that heavier weight, or you can also always hold 2 weights together, depending, switch, depending on what type of dumbbells we have. Here we go. So you're twisting to the side of the leg that's going forward. Remember, if forward lunge doesn't work for you, it's not for everybody. You could do a reverse lunge, static lunge. Instead. Oh. Rest. All right. One more time through. that whole thing. And we're literally just preparing for these goddess makers. I like the name, goddess maker. And it's a lot. So for our clean, right, we talked about the swing, the hips, same sort of thing. Our weights are down, right, or you can lift them up towards the shins. As we come up, we want to use that hip pop to bring the weights up. Sorry, only to shoulder height. If we brought them all the way up, that would be a snatch. We're not doing that today. So again, similar thing, it's a little bit more challenging with lighter weights, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Tricep push up. Last time we're here. Now we have 5 minutes for that AMRAP, but there's a lot to it. So I'm not expecting you to get a ton of reps. I'd rather you move through them properly than rush it. Here we go. And over go. Just 5 seconds, just enough time to transition. Keep that belly strong, especially if you're all the way over here. Gaze is down so your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. So last week I taught a strengthen and stretch class, which was yoga based. It was actually pretty fun, a little bit longer. We basically like a kind of a yoga sculpt-ish, grab that heavier weight for squeeze. And then yoga poses, stretch it out. This last Tuesday night was a little tough when you teach first thing in the morning and then 6:15 at night. When I first started teaching, I didn't have another job. No, I shouldn't say that. I was in my corporate job. Then about 6 months later, I left to teach full time. Goblet squat, keep that heavy weight. There we go. And so I would take whatever times they gave me, right? And I remember being in Cambridge, Mass, 6 a.m., Winchester, Mass, 7 p.m. Sometimes a noon spot. Oh, it was tough. My car was a lease. Let's put on more miles than I needed. Lesson learned. Sometimes you gotta learn those life lessons, right? Here we go, around the world. Ooh. Basically warming up the shoulders, right? We're using these similar exercises to get into the groove. Nothing crazy. But I don't want to tire you out with what we have coming up either. It's kind of a fine balance. All right. Forward lunge. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Oops, hit the twist. We're going to have a minute to grab some water. I'm going to start going over this goddess maker. Oh no, please. Balance. Or lunge stuff with the balance as you're resting, okay? And then we'll go through it together. And then we'll head into it. Rest. Okay. That's the time. Perfect. So we start with the push-up, right? Don't worry about going through it. I just want you to watch me for a second. On the toes or the knees, you can use the dumbbells or not, right? So we have one push-up here. Then we're going to row. I'm just going to show the modification. One side, the other side. So you're on the knees or the toes. Then we come up and we jump or step for that clean. Okay, so this is where you might have that bent over position and you use the hips a little bit to get the weights up to the shoulders. We have a front squat, push press. Then we have a reverse lunge with the weights overhead. 1, 2, and we go from the start. Okay, so let's do that together. No weights first though. Okay, you can use the weights for the push-up, but I want you to just feel it out. All right. So we have our push-up. That was a back push-up. We have a row, right, left, step or hop forward for 10 weights. We have our clean using the hips to pop it up. Front squat, push press. So a little bend in the knees, up and over. You can keep them here. If you need to bring them down and back up, I would recommend leaving them here. Reverse lunge, and from the top. Okay, so I will keep reminding you. And again, you can be quicker or slower than me. Timer ready. Or you can go at my same pace. If you lose where you are, who cares? No big deal, okay? Just keep moving. All right, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, here we go. So we have one push-up. We have a row. I like to bring my feet out a little wider. Right, left, or left, right. Step or hop it forward. We're going to bring the weights up a little bit. Use the hips to clean it up to the shoulders. One squat. Push press. Weights stay up overhead. Lunge. Lunge. And then back to the top. Just going to move this. All right, keep going. Here we go. Go back to my timer page. All right. So modification for the push-up. You can be on your knees. Modification for the row. You can be on your knees. You can step instead of hopping. Cleaning the weights, though, is really the safest way to get them up. Again, if they're super light, then really it's okay as long as your back isn't super rounded. Try to keep the arms straight. I know it's not easy. All right. And we just keep going. So one push. Oh. Those push-ups are bad. I'm going to drop to my knees. One row each side. Step or hop. Lean it up. Front squat. Push press. Reverse lunge. Almost 2 minutes in. So again, not expecting a ton of reps here. Take your time. Keep your belly strong. But have a little bit of a core cash out here to finish us up. But your core should be tight and engaged this whole time. 5 minutes is a long time. If you need an extra break, don't hesitate to take it. Take a breath. I like to count 3, 10, depending on how I'm feeling, and then jump back in. I used to do CrossFit. I loved and hated wall balls all at once. So I would bend over. Got really tired. Down to 10. Then I'm gonna suck it up and get back in there. Not always the best mindset, but as long as your form is good, right? One thing to be tired, but if you're losing your form because you're so tired or you're rushing, that's no bueno. don't want that. That's why we take our time here for these strength movements. We have less than 90 seconds. Might not take a whole minute rest after this. Just so we have a couple minutes to cool down. Ooh, this gets spicy, right? Especially if you're like me, forget to leave your arms up after that press. Add an extra shoulder press in there. Less than a minute. Don't worry where you end up. Right, you don't have to end right on those reverse lunges. Not a big deal. I'll let you know when the timer's up and we'll stop there. If you're in the renegade row, just be sure you get both sides. Woo. Almost there. And rest. Oh, take it out. Take a little walk. Good job. I didn't even count how many you got. Doesn't matter. Shoulders on fire. Love it. Okay. So our cash out. Not really a cash out, but kind of. 1 minute alternating jackknives. So we're lying down, yay. Left arm, right leg. Right arm, left leg. If it's too much for you to come up, no big deal. You could take hand to knee. Just a little lift, okay? Make sure that low back is pressing down into the mat. All right, 1 minute. Let's do this. 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it up nice and strong. Either option works. We just want to press that low back down before we come up in any sort of a way. Lying down, and this full body stretch feels good. We'll do one once we finish here. All right, over halfway. Keep pushing. I know December is a tough time of year. I appreciate you guys coming and making time for class. It's good to take some time for yourselves all the time, but especially when things get chaotic around the holidays. Rest. Oh, all right, stay in that full body rest. I just gotta shut this off. That noise is on the noise. Okay, let's take the hands together, stretch one side, and then stretch the other side. And then bring the knees in. We'll take a spinal twist while we're here. So knees to the right, left arm out like a wing. Do want to stretch those shoulders a little bit. Switch to the other side. Yeah, 2 1. I'm going to stretch the front of the shoulders. You can do with thread the needle after to get the back of the shoulders. Moving around the world, I feel it more in the front of the shoulder. So that's what I want to get with you here. Okay. So I like to do this on the ground, but it can be intense. You're basically making a goalpost with your arm. We're going to roll to the side. If it's too much, go ahead, find a doorway right? It's basically called doorway stretch. It's just more intense on the ground. So I'll show you. We want the elbow in line with the shoulder. And then we're gonna roll. I'm on my left arm, so we're gonna roll to that left arm, and then you can kind of adjust from there. Rolling. You know, I like the two first. And then the other side. So doorway, same thing, less intense. Sometimes I walk around during the day and just do it. Push-ups, right, also in that chest pec area. Oh, all right, let's sit back. For child's pose. That is fine. And MKT, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good workout. And hey, Rita, I hope to see you all next week before Christmas if you celebrate. All right. Have a great week, everybody. You're welcome.